Hello. Good morning, everybody. I'm so excited you're here. I'm seeing we've got Bonnie here, and she says it's a gorgeous day in Indiana. I'm so glad to hear that. Not so gorgeous here. We've got some rain, but we can always use some rain. I'm really excited to teach you these cards today. We're going to be featuring the tag topper punch, and just using it in a really unique way. We're not going to use it for tags. We're going to create these fun cards. And let me show you. These just tie here on the side. And then there is your amazing card. So cute, right? I've got two cards to share with you. We're going to start with this one. But let me go ahead and bring my friends on the screen here. Hi, ladies.
Good morning.
Hi. Good morning. Everybody doing good today?
Yes. And guess what I decided?
What?
So I have my coffee mug.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've noticed, but some of the community here have a coffee drinking game. Every time Connie says coffee, they drink coffee. I'm going to have to put a twist on it. I'm going to only drink coffee when Connie says coffee.
Well,
you will be caffeinated and ready to go by the time this live.
Slow it down. I got to slow it down a little, guys. So
today it's water. I've had my coffee, but I'm trying to limit one. And my doctor said I need to drink more water. Whatever.
What do they know?
Doctors.
So now I've joined the big, huge cup club.
I have that Tervis that you got me for Christmas, and I feel it at least 3 times a day. And so, but it's
good.
Still morning. It's still morning, and I've only had 1 cup. So,
gotcha.
I'm excited for this card.
Me too.
I'm so excited to see how you're going to do it with something other, like use the punches for something other than a tag.
Right, and it's got some interesting little twists to it. So. I was just scrolling. I see some of our members on here. Kathleen and Kelly are here. And then, of course, all of our fabulous. Oh, Vicky is here from Arizona. And then we also like Nancy and Valerie and Paula, all kinds of Stampin' friends.
Bonnie is here.
NJ,
and she
card
says
maker.
That water sucks the joy out of her life.
I saw that too.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not as good. And also, I'm not really big into cold drinks. I really like hot drinks. So, anyway, trying to change things up. Okay. Supposedly, my body is going to be happy. I don't know.
Supposedly, your skin likes it better. All kinds of things. So,
Well, I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted. All right. Shall we jump in and make some cards?
Yes.
Let's make some cards.
All right. We're going to move some screens around here, and we're going to go right there. All right, we got it. Here we go, my friends. Okay. So, some measurements. Before we get into the measurements, you guys know you get a free download that will have all of your measurements. You're going to have your photo, supply list, the QR code, and I will tell you, you're probably going to need to come back because there's some tips and tricks, or if you want to just jot them down in your somewhere on your free download, you can do that too. But scan or click, either way, it's going to get you there. You've got a supply list right here with visuals, because I know you guys like your visuals. You can click this graphic or scan or click the link. That'll take you to my online store, friends. So if you're in the United States and you are in need of a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'm your girl. And so you can find that. Now, if you are a part of my membership, you're going to get some diagrams. If you're a fun fold friend, and if you're a fancy fold fanatic, you're going to get the written instructions. So I wanted you guys to be aware of that. And if you want more information on the YouTube membership, you can just click the join button right underneath my YouTube channel, and you can check that out. Okay, well, let's jump in with our first card, Trust in the Lord with All Your Heart, a really fabulous card. So we're going to start here. Guys, this card is so unique. It's so different. So I've got a piece of Petal Pink 5.5 by 8.5. no score line. Okay. That part is important. You guys know I'm always 8.5 by 5.5 score, 4.25. Don't score yet. Okay. We're going to do some scoring, but not yet. So we're going to start with that. I'm going to bring in my tag top or my elegant edge tag topper punch. And we're going to do something different. So you guys see this little slot right here. That's where you're supposed to put cardstock. Okay. You're supposed to push a piece of 2-inch cardstock in there to get your tag. We're going to do something different. We're going to slide our cardstock, and you're going to want to do this gently. Okay. You don't want to tear up, or not tear up, but bend up your cardstock. So can you see, I just sort of bypass that. Just slide it in there, push it in as far as it'll go. And you guys know how much I loathe tick marks, right? So let me show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to tap that cardstock flat. So it's flat here on the table. It's slid in as far as it'll go. I'm now going to punch. I'm going to give it a good punch. Okay. Now, I got to tell you something. With this punch, every great once in a while, I got to weed out something. Okay? It happens. So I do want to make you aware. Yours might not, but you know how it is every once in a while. Okay. There's that side punch. I'm going to repeat that here on the other side. And this is why I said I don't need a tick mark, because I'm going to slide that in as far as it'll go. I'm going to turn my punch on its side. And when it's flat with the table, see, I don't need a tick mark. I'm sure it's straight. We're going to give that a punch. Oops, what did I just do? Okay. I think I shifted just a little bit. So, look at that. Perfectly straight. We love that. We're going to do a little trimming. So I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer. Now, I'm going to have you put the edge here at about 3/4 of an inch, but you may need to bring it back just a little bit, because what we want to see, and I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see this. We want to see just a little bit of that track. Can you see just a little bit of that track there? That's what we need. Okay. So I wanted you guys to be able to see that. Whoops. Let's come in a little bit more. Now we're going to cut, but I want you to be very careful when you're cutting, because we're only going to cut, and you're going to kind of feel it right to there. Okay. So it's going to cut right to that edge. Now I'm going to bring this up to the top. You just don't want to cut off. You almost feel it just cut loose. All right. See that? So now we have a great edge. Now I'm kind of glad this happened. Do you see I have a little fuzz right here? It's no problem. We'll just use our paper snips and snip that away. We're going to repeat that on the other side. So again, you're going to go to about 3/4 and then bring it back just a little bit, so that we don't cut off our beautiful edge. And here's another one. See how it's just kind of hanging there? Well, it came off on its own. Oh, well, I'm pretty good there. All right. Now, this is where we're going to take a quick little break, because I want you to see, where's my other card? I want you to see that you can put the tag topper at the top or the bottom. Okay, so you kind of want to decide now which way you want that to go. So I want mine up here at the top. And so I'm going to kind of give myself this visual. So this side of my card, sliding down, this is the 4 1/4 inch, and this is 2 3/4. Okay, but it's this side that needs a score line. That's where I said you may have to come back and watch this video, because I want to make sure that's really clear. So I'm going to put my cardstock back in there, and I'm just going to give myself a score line right here. Now I'm going to tell you something. If you're kind of going, Connie, I don't know what side I'm going to want it on, do it on the other side. Okay, do it on both sides. It's not going to hurt anything. Okay, so if you get both sides, you're only going to fold down one. See, this one's flat. But if it's got a score line, it is so not the end of the world. So now I can see that I want this side to be at the 4 1/4 inch. So I'm going to fold this down. So I need this at 4 1/4, right? I'm going to rotate it around. Let's see. Oh, wait. Connie's got to stop and think. Got to do it this way. No, I got to do it this way. There we go. I got it. 4 1/4. Sorry about that. Okay. Can you see? So yeah, you just kind of have to remember that wherever your fold is, wherever whatever side you want it on, this needs to be 4 1/4. This needs to be 2 3/4. I could have easily taken this side and just scored it at 2 3/4, whichever works best for you. But that's what you have to remember, 2 3/4 and 4 1/4. All right, I have that done. And sorry if I got a little confusing there. I don't want it to be, but you may just feel better about just kind of creating a card base. And by the way, I can also tell you if I needed this to be at the bottom, look at that. It's now at the bottom. All I did was just flip it over. Okay. So just kind of keep that in mind. If you go, oh, darn, I really want it at the bottom. Okay. All right. So don't stress. All right. Either way, you're going to be just fine. Now, you can see I kind of have a little rough edge right there, and that can happen from time to time. So you can just trim that off if that were to happen. Okay. We've got our base done. So I'm going to set this off to the side. And let's do a little decorating. I have a piece of Petal Pink that is a 2.5 by 5 1/4. I wanted to use a really fun new die called Friendship. What is this called? Pattern of Friendship. And this is a really unique die. Okay. It doesn't cut anything. It just creates a really great pattern. And I loved it. So I want to show you really quickly how you're going to do this. So I laid let me grab my plates because I want you to kind of see this here. So you're going to need cutting base plate 1, cutting plate 2. I didn't say it. You guys are waiting for me to say coffee and I'm not saying it. Plate 3. And so I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to put the die face up because I want to make sure I get this centered in here. And so I just found, you can put it wherever you want. It doesn't matter. But I did want it centered as far as I want to make sure those lines don't go ski-wampus. And you're going to run this through your machine. Okay. Now, through the magic of television, let me get that out of my way. I have that done, and this is what it looks like, and it's gorgeous. So I'm going to go ahead and add this to the front of my card. There's just a nice little dog hair on my card today. That's fun. All right. A little dog hair makes everything better. Okay, I'm going to bring my card in, and I'm going to add this to the front. I think it just adds gorgeous texture. This really is one of my faves. All right. So the card is done. Let's start stamping. I've got 2 pieces of Very Vanilla. So I have a 4 by 5 1/4. And this is truly a scrap, but it's 4 inches by 1 3/4. So we're going to use 2 stamp sets today. We're going to use beautiful butterflies to create our beautiful butterflies. But I really loved this Trust in the Lord with All Your Heart stamp. And you notice it's nice and narrow. Well, that works perfect right here. Now, you don't have to put your sentiment here. Okay, this could be left blank. You could put some little image here. Okay, so no stress on that. But I really loved that I had this greeting for the front that did that. So let's do some stamping. I'm only using a pecan pie ink pad on this. We will be using some Stampin' blends to color our beautiful butterflies. I'm going to stamp 2 butterflies there. I'm going to stamp 1 up here in the corner. And then for my greeting, you can see it's kind of going to go here on the side. If you feel more comfortable, you could always stamp this after you get it inside your card. whatever works best for you. All right, so we are done with that. Let's do some coloring. And Christina, Brenda, I'm going to do some coloring here. So if you guys want to let me know of any comments, I'm happy to answer them. I have a light pumpkin pie and a light petal pink. So we're going to create some beautiful looks here on the butterfly. Before I start coloring, I am going to tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to color, I don't know if there's necessarily a right or wrong, but whatever I color here in pumpkin pie, I'm going to do in petal pink over here. Okay. So that way I can kind of change things up, but it is kind of fun. Of course, now I can see I'm going to do the same thing on this side, and I'm just sort of doing the every other spot here. And
hey, Connie, I did want to mention that one stamp set, the Courage and Faith, is a last chance item.
It is a last chance item. And let me tell you, let me bring it back in. Oh, where did I set it? While I'm coloring, I'm going to show you because I want you guys to see. It's a fantastic set. Look at that in there. So beautiful. It is one you are going to want. Okay, I have colored that one in my pumpkin pie. And what I love is now I can just come over everything very quickly with my petal pink, because I don't care if it blends together with that pumpkin pie. Okay, we're going to do that. So like I said, I'm going to do the opposite of that on this one. Let me go ahead. I'm going to go ahead really quickly, guys, and color in this one. Again, it doesn't matter which sections you choose. Just have some fun. But I would recommend doing the same thing on both sides. And I always get worried that I'm trying to talk and do this, that I'm going to color something wrong. Like, mix. The butterfly, it has to be equal on both sides, right? Right? We can't have a wonky butterfly. That's just wrong. Okay. I think that'll work. No, I need this. There we go. Now I will come in just like before with the light. So remember, that was light pumpkin pie, light petal pink. And now I've got this for the inside of my card. I liked these really soft orange tones. I think they're super pretty. So you're going to come in now with the dies, or you can fussy cut, whichever works best for you. So we've got a die for these butterflies. Okay, so I'm going to die cut those. And yes, through the magic of television, I have those done for you. So let's go ahead and kind of start to put our card together. So this main piece, of course, this is where you're going to write your message. When you're writing your message, you also want to avoid the right side of the card. We don't want our message to spill over. So you're going to want to kind of keep your message here on this side. I'll tell you, I'm going to go ahead. I've got some of the petal pink. Oh, wait, I've got to do one more thing. So this is the petal pink diagonal ribbon. And by the way, it comes with white and petal pink in the combo pack there. But you're going to notice I'm not going to be able to get that ribbon through that little bitty hole. So in comes the new hole punch pack. Either of these two slot punches will work. I think I'm going to use this one here. So let me show you what I'm going to do. This is so easy. I'm just going to slide this in, and I'm going to find that middle hole right there. Now I've got a nice slot for that ribbon to go. We're going to do the same thing here. I love having a ribbon slot punch. It is fantastic for so many things, but yeah, I'm very happy to have this hole punch kit. And like I said, it's got others. It's got a 1/8 inch, which I might be able to use, but it was still pretty small. And this one, it has that little extra notch, and I just didn't need it. So that's why I'm going to go with this one. Friends, this card, it's just so beautiful. I said 15 inches of ribbon. I wanted to give you plenty. And when you're giving a card like this that the recipient is going to want to retie, you want to make sure there's plenty of ribbon for them to do that. So I might trim this down a little bit, but not too much. Okay. Again, I want to have plenty, but we want to make it look pretty, but I don't want the recipient to struggle. Whoops, come here, you. So I'm going to cut off just a little bit. That also helps if you had any shredding of your ribbon. I have added Stampin' Dimensionals to the back of the butterflies. And guys, die cutting those, so easy, but fussy cutting, also not too hard. I'm going to let one fly right there. We're going to grab another. And we're going to add her down here. And that's all there is to it. So like I said, you have the opportunity to decide, do you want your we're going to call it the tag topper, because that's really what it is. Do you want it at the top or the bottom? So you do have that option to do that. All right, that was card number 1. Let's jump in with card number 2. Give me just a second, because I got to reset everything and clear some stuff here, so I have some room to work. Okay.
Hey, Connie.
Yes.
Do you suppose you could do that with any tag topper punch?
Yes, you can. Keep in mind that where I said you were going to cut it at that 3/4 of an inch. So when you're cutting it here, that may not be 3/4. That doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. Okay. Remember, this side needs to be, one side needs to be 4 1/4 inches. That's what you need to remember. Okay. So you should be fine. You just might have to make a couple of adjustments, but not anything you won't be able to handle. It's still going to be an 8.5 by 5.5. Don't score anything. You're going to do this all the exact same way. Yeah, just remember this part needs to be 4 1/4. Okay. So I'm going to bring this one in. Well, and I was just saying this side. It can be either side, because you notice this one, where do I have it? I've got the 4 1/4 on this side. Again, either way. So I know I want my tag punches here at the bottom. I did go ahead and make myself that score line. So that means I need to score here at 4 1/4. So let's bring our paper trimmer back in. I hope that is not confusing. I do not want it to be confusing at all. But you just have to remember, whoops, let's get the cutting blade out of the way. We've got 4 1/4 and 2 3/4. Okay. So when we fold that down, now it's correct. All right. If I wanted it to be the other way, I can do that. You see? All right. Either way. Whoops. So you can do it this way. Or there we go. Or you can do it this way. All right. So there's no right or wrong. And of course, if you want it up at the top, it's at the top. Okay. So very, very simple to do. All right. I'm going to give this a fold. And nope, I'm going to do mine this way. There we go. There we go. So I want my, the one with the score line, I want it over at the bottom left. So let me set that off to the side. That part is done. We're going to use You Are Remarkable. I'm loving this stamp set so much. Before we get too far into this, I'm going to teach you a little technique. So I told you this ribbon came in white and petal pink. It comes as a combo. I didn't want white. I wanted berry burst. So let me bring in a little bit of scratch paper. I could have sworn I pulled some out. Yep, there it is. I'm going to bring in some scratch paper here. And we're going to color this ribbon. The reason I want to kind of start with this is because it needs a little bit of drying time. So I'm going to take my dark Stampin' Blend and Berry Burst, And on the side of the brush, don't use the tip or it'll kind of start to destroy the tip of your Stampin' Blend. But do you see how I'm just coloring? Just run the side of your Stampin' Blend all the way down. And again, 15 inches of ribbon. Might be longer than what we need, but that's okay. In fact, you don't even have to worry about the ends because you're going to be trimming them off. So I'm not going to worry too much about that end. Now, I have that side done, but I got to show you something. The other side needs a little bit of love. So we're going to go ahead and get this other side. See what you guys are talking about. Robin's here. Oh, Robin says she loves the You Are Remarkable stamp set. Yeah, this has been one of my favorites. It's a 2-step stamp, and you guys know I love my 2-step stamps because I don't always want to color. So, all right, I've got that done. I'm going to set that aside to dry. And you know what? I'm going to do one other thing while I've got this out. I've got the iridescent pearls, and I did do this in advance, but just take your Stampin' Blend. This only works with Stampin' Blends, by the way. This will not work with anything else. And I colored 3 of them in Berry Burst, okay? So that's going to give us some little Berry Burst embellishments on there. I love that. Guys, don't let me forget to add those because I did the reel today and I forgot to add them. All right, let's go ahead and do some stamping. I did do some of it in advance because it really is pretty simple to do. I stamped that in the Memento Black, and now I've got my Daffodil Delight. So let's add some color to my flowers. Again, I told you I love 2-step stamping. So that's been stamped. And we can just go right on top. And also this one kind of has a little detail built into it. So when you stamp, you kind of get a little bit of darker and lighter. It's fantastic. And I don't know about you, but I love Daffodil Delight in the springtime. Let's come in now with the stems and leaves. And I want you to notice, you'll see the big stem, okay? And then your leaves are going to come out. Whoops. Let's get something underneath me. I only got just the edge of this because, again, I want room to write my message. So we'll stamp that there. And now we'll get this one. Just line that up. Perfect. All right. That is a little dark. It will dry darker. And this is a super juicy ink pad. I inked it before I came live. So, oh, I got something on me. You know what I'm going to do right there? I'm going to cover that up with an embellishment. You won't even see that. Because we've all done it, right? I don't even know where I picked it up from. It's somewhere. All right, friends, here we go. Let's do a little adhering. So we're going to take this one and we'll add this, of course, to the inside of my card. So you see, I got a Stampin' Dimensional backing that's going to drive me nuts. My sentiment is going to stick out on this side. That is why I said you might want to just wait to stamp your sentiment or your greeting there, just because of where things might go. You might need to do that. Now, I've got a piece of Daffodil Delight designer series paper. This is a 2.5 by 5 1/4. And I just wanted to kind of dress up the inside of the card. So I didn't do that on my first card. All right. But this is just going to tuck inside, kind of dresses up the inside a little bit. Now for this outside, I've got some tips and tricks. So I'm going to add my stamped image to a piece of basic black. And that is a 2.5. Yes, 2.5 by 5 1/4. We're going to add our stamped image. We're going to add this to the panel of our card. But my flower's floating and I didn't like that. So I had some little scrap pieces left over from my, when I cut that designer series paper. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take, this is a 2, let me see. I've got a 2 1/4 by 3/4 of an inch. And then I have a piece of basic black, same thing, 2 1/4 by 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to do this. Can you guys see? I just added that. It's sticking off the bottom. I know, but I'm good with that. Okay. Do you see how I just kind of extended that? Okay. Little adhesive here. Watch this. I'm going to add it right there at the bottom. And it looks like, I did all this crazy layer stuff and I didn't. All right. So I just kind of made it look like it extended. My ribbon, good and dry. See, we're all good. Oh, nope. Got to get my punch. So this dimensional backing is just, I'm throwing it on the floor. We're done. That thing's crazy. Okay. So remember, we're just going to center up that circle and we're going to give ourselves a little ribbon slot. Okay. And I got to tell you, I still think the thing I love about this card the most is that I didn't have to do any tick marks because that little trick just took care of everything. All right. And now I've got this beautiful berry burst ribbon. See, I told you I was not worried at all about the ends of the ribbon because I knew I'd be trimming it down. So we'll give that a beautiful tie. Plenty of room there. We will cut and cut. All right. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to do the center of my flower. And I forgot, I got a little bumblebee. I stamped a little bumblebee, but I did want to show you, where's my black? I did want to show you how I did the center of my flower because it's kind of important. We're going to ink it up in black. We're going to stamp off. That way we get that little bit lighter image because that solid black is just a little bit too much. So we're going to do that. And friends, great cards. I mean, fun cards. Oh, see, I told you I was going to forget my little embellishments. Let's add those. And like I said, I know exactly where the first one's going to go. It's going to hide that. And then I got another little one that I'm going to hide right there. And so we'll put the third one right there. Everything can get covered with an embellishment, right? So friends, that is how you use your elegant tag topper punch to create a card that is totally different and unique. And again, what I love about this is it was just half a sheet of cardstock and no tick marks, right? So really, really fun and beautiful cards. Of course, the images you use can be anything. Whether you choose to have a greeting on the side is entirely up to you. You could do a little border of something, like stamp some flowers up the side, whatever you want to do. Okay. So don't let that stop you. If you say, oh, I just don't have a vertical greeting, don't worry about that. Okay. Friends, I do want to show you the cards we're going to make next week because I'm really excited about these. These are what I'm calling a double column card. We've created column cards here before, but this one is a double column. Oh, I guess what happened? How did I get my face moved over? Oh, you know what? I bet sorry. I laid something over there and I hit it. I think that's what I did. Sorry. Okay. So this is what we're making next week. It's the double column card. So great card that stands, but we have two kind of pop outs here. So I thought that one was just beautiful. This happy birthday one. Oh my gosh. Right. Gorgeous. These are going to be a huge hit and people are just going to look at you and go, how on earth did you do that? And you're just going to go, it's really hard. And it just took me forever. Oh, anyway, that's what we're going to create next week. That'll be May 1st. So I hope you'll join me for that. Friends, don't forget that tomorrow we kick off the Creative 8 retreat for spring 2025. So if you've been putting off registering, going, oh, I have time, you don't have much time left, because tomorrow at 5 p.m., I believe 6 p.m., 6 p.m. Eastern time is when we are going to kick things off. And I don't want you guys to miss out. So at the retreat, we have 8 YouTube live presentations. You're going to have written tutorials. You're going to have, oh gosh, I don't even know how many, because you get 3 for every presentation. And then we've got pre-retreat challenges and bonus tutorials. We have all kinds of stuff. Okay. It's a fun weekend set aside for you to create, have a good time. And I want you guys to be a part of that. All right. So head over to simplysimplestamping.com and look up at the top. You're going to see Creativate News. And that's where you can click on that, read all about it, and make plans to join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I do that with YouTubers, Jackie Bolheis, Brandy Cox, and Sharon Armstrong. We'll all be there creating and designing some really amazing cards and techniques for you. So, I just saw Robin said, looking forward to the Creativate retreat. Yay. I'm so glad. And then Brenda, she just shared the link to register. Thank you, Brenda. Yeah, you guys can check that out. Judy says she can't wait for the retreat. I love that. Guys, we do this 4 times a year, and it's just so nice to have a weekend set aside just for us to be able to create. I mean, we need that. We just need that sometimes, right? Okay. Well, I tell you what, I think that is all I have for you. We went through this last time. I do want to share my YouTube membership friends. So give me just a second, and we're going to try this again. And you guys said you wanted it a little slower. So we're going to take it a little slower. And I'm hoping this works. Let's try it. Ready? Is it working? You guys have to tell me if it's working.
It is now.
I'm so grateful for you guys. Thank you so much for joining the membership. We're having so much fun. We're creating really unique cards. We're getting the opportunity to create together, nice and slow. It really is super fun. I absolutely love it. And I hope that you guys will go check that out and just try it. See what you think. We created a really amazing twist and pop card. May 20th will be our next one. And we've got I don't even know how to describe it. It's like this really off the charts cool, kind of a waterfall card. We lost Brenda. Yeah, Brenda's internet has just been giving her fits. But anyway, huge shout out to all of you. Thank you so much for being a part of the YouTube membership. Remember, you don't have to be a member to subscribe. That is absolutely free, and you'll get access to all my videos. The YouTube membership is just extra perks, extra videos, all kinds of fun little things that we have for you, special YouTube lives. Like I said, we create nice and slow, and we have those little more fun cards. So with that, everybody, thank you for being here, and give me a thumbs up on YouTube if you like the video. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.